Hi there, welcome to another design from my archive. This is about shelf-ready packaging, and here's an example. So way back in 1998-99, I think, I went to the very first presentation about shelf-ready packaging at Tesco UK. And whilst it was a great idea for them and made a lot of sense, at the time, a lot of the producers and suppliers of Tesco were up in arms because normally tins of beans or product like this would have been sent in large cartons, maybe 24 in a pack, and they'd be dispensed from the box onto the shelf by one at a time by their colleagues. Shelf ready, of course, made a massive change to that, and the time and the speed and the money that the retailers just had to literally rip off the top of the box, put it on the shelf, and hey ho, it was a retail ready pack. The problem was though that of course they only wanted maybe 6 items or products in each of the boxes. So that meant, as far as the producers and suppliers were concerned, the packaging costs were going to go sky high, through the roof. But here we are 25 years later and they're the norm. But there's always been a few issues with shelf ready, and I'll come on to some of those on another video about perforations and things like that. But this was one particular issue that cropped up quite a bit and still does to some degree. If you've got a product like this, and I'm not endorsing these biscuits, but they're very nice, I can say that. You've got the logo down here very low, and there's some more text underneath it as well. So when you put it in a standard 0201 type box with a rip-off top, some of the text and branding just gets completely hidden. So this was a problem way back in those early days, which not many people managed to solve straight away. But we had an idea when I was working with one of my long-standing clients, Clifford Packaging, and we spent a lot of our time designing new packs and new design structures for retail ready packaging. So we discarded the idea of the 0201 with a rip-off top, and we came up with this, which is a simple die-cut box tray, has no lid, and the product drops in. And of course, because the cutout is in the center and the structure is still quite rigid around the corners, you can see most of the branding and the instructions or wherever the message needs to be. There's a very simple tray, very effective, easy to shop out of, and you could even cut around the corners as well here, so it wasn't really too much of a problem. We called it the Revo tray because actually it's just so simple to make up. This just reverses underneath, hence the word Revo, and it's just a die-cut tray. Great tray to tile up on a cutting form, 6 up or something like that, because there's all straight edges, no gutters created, and if there are gaps between each blank, then they're massive areas they can strip out. So very easy to make up, very quick, you just put it through there. Hey presto, you've got your tray and you've got your product inside. Takes all sorts of products, of course. Doesn't have to be a packet of biscuits, could be tins of beans or packets of dry soup or whatever, but you get a full display, but you also don't miss the text and the branding here. It's quite good for stacking because it's actually got vertical flutings here and around the corner. You can probably just see that. So that's an innovation which we created, I don't know, way back in the mid 2000s or something. Been very good to doing its job. So if you'd like to see more of these videos from my design archive, please subscribe, and I'm trying to create an educational platform for box designers and people who are interested to see how we solve problems. So thanks for watching.